The gallery smelled like turpentine and broken dreams. Rain battered the windows with fists of water, each impact sending rivulets racing down the glass like tears. Maya Chen stood motionless before her canvas, a violent explosion of crimson and midnight black that seemed to pulse with its own heartbeat. Her phone buzzed. Another rejection. She didn't need to read it. The door opened behind her, bringing with it the scent of rain and expensive cologne. Maya turned slowly, paintbrush still gripped in her stained fingers. A man stood in the doorway, soaked through his tailored suit, chest heaving like he'd been running from something. Water dripped from his dark hair onto the polished concrete. When he looked up, his eyes were the color of a winter storm about to break. "We're closed," Maya said, but her voice came out softer than she intended. He stepped into the light. Recognition hit her like a physical blow. Adrian Blackstone, tech billionaire, the man whose face was plastered across every business magazine in Manhattan. "I know." His voice was rough, raw at the edges. "I saw your light. I needed somewhere to be that wasn't anywhere else." Maya studied him, searching for the arrogance she expected. Instead, she found cracks in the facade. Something shattered beneath the surface. "Bad night?" she asked. His laugh was bitter. "The worst kind." He moved toward her painting, and Maya watched his eyes trace the violent brushstrokes, the way she'd carved pain into every layer. "This is devastating," he said quietly. "In the best way. It's my last one." The words escaped before she could stop them. "After tonight, I'm done lying to myself." "What happened tonight?" "The same thing that always happens. I'm not what they want." She gestured at the empty white walls around them. "And you? What brings Adrian Blackstone to a dying gallery at midnight?" His jaw tightened. "Someone I trusted just sold 5 years of my work to my biggest competitor." He paused, his storm gray eyes locking onto hers. "Turns out my fiancé was working for them the whole time." The air between them felt charged, electric with shared devastation. "I'm sorry," Maya whispered. He stepped closer. Close enough that she could see the exhaustion carved into his features, smell the rain on his skin. "What's your name?" "Maya, Maya." He said it like a word he needed to remember. "I have a proposition for you." Her heart kicked against her ribs. "What kind of proposition?" "I need someone real. Someone who understands what it feels like to be betrayed by the world you gave everything to." His voice dropped to barely above a whisper. "Someone who wants revenge as badly as I do." The lights flickered overhead. Maya knew she should walk away, but her own rage was a living thing inside her chest, demanding to be fed. "What are you asking me to do?" Adrian moved closer. So close she could feel the heat radiating from his body despite the cold rainwater soaking his clothes. "I'm asking you to marry me, Maya, to help me destroy the people who destroyed us both." Thunder cracked overhead, and Maya felt the world tilt on its axis. 3 days later, Maya stood in Adrian's penthouse, watching Manhattan glitter below like a constellation of broken promises. The marriage certificate lay on his glass desk, their signatures still wet. Having second thoughts, Adrian asked, appearing beside her at the floor-to-ceiling windows. He'd loosened his tie, and in the reflection, Maya saw the exhaustion he tried to hide. "About marrying a stranger for revenge?" She turned to face him. "Never." His eyes searched hers. "You're either the bravest person I've ever met, or the most reckless." "Maybe I'm both." Maya crossed her arms. "Tell me about her, Victoria." Adrian's entire body went rigid. "Victoria Sterling. Beautiful, brilliant, and completely hollow inside." He moved to the window, jaw clenched. "She spent 2 years learning exactly how to break me. Every vulnerability, every weakness. She mapped them all. And now you want me to be what she wasn't. I want you to be exactly who you are." He turned, and the intensity in his gaze made her breath catch. Raw, honest, unbreakable. Victoria was polished perfection. "You're something real." Heat crawled up Maya's spine. "What makes you think I won't betray you too?" "Because you have nothing to gain from my destruction." He pulled out a thick folder, spreading photographs across the desk. "And everything to lose if I fall." Maya studied the images. Victoria Sterling stared back from a corporate headshot, all sharp cheekbones and calculated beauty. "She's stunning," Maya said quietly. Beauty was her weapon. She knew exactly how to make me believe I was the only person who'd ever seen past it to something genuine underneath. Was there something genuine? Adrian's laugh cut like broken glass. "I thought so. For 2 years, I thought I'd found someone who understood what it means to be this isolated." He gestured at the opulent space around them. "She understood it well enough to weaponize it." Maya moved closer to the documents. "What's the plan?" "Sterling Tech unveils my stolen security protocols at next week's cybersecurity summit. They'll present them as their own innovation, worth hundreds of millions." His voice turned cold. "Unless we stop them first. How? By making Victoria believe she's already lost." Adrian stepped closer, and Maya felt the air shift between them. "By showing up with you and watching her perfect composure crack when she realizes I'm not broken. And then she makes mistakes." His smile was dangerous. "And I catch every single one." The sunset painted the room in gold and crimson. Maya found herself mesmerized by the way light caught in Adrian's dark hair, the way exhaustion and determination warred in his features. "There's something you need to understand," Adrian said, his voice dropping. "Victoria will come for you. She'll dig into your past, find every wound, and press until you bleed." Maya stepped closer, close enough to feel his breath. "My past is full of wounds, Adrian. They've made me stronger, not weaker." Something flickered in his eyes, something that looked almost like hope. "There's one more thing." He reached up, his fingers hovering near her face without quite touching. "If Victoria discovers what you already mean to me, she'll try to destroy you completely. And I don't know if I can protect you from that." Maya's heart thundered. "What do I mean to you?" Before he could answer, his phone shattered the moment. Victoria's name flashed across the screen, accompanied by a photo that sent unexpected jealousy knifing through Maya's chest. Adrian's face went stone cold as he answered on speaker. "Victoria?" "Adrian." "Darling." The voice was smooth, cultured, poisonous. "I heard the most fascinating rumor about a marriage certificate. I simply had to call and congratulate you." Maya watched Adrian's reflection in the window, saw his free hand clench into a fist. "I'm sure you'll meet her soon enough." "Oh, I'm counting on it." Victoria's laugh was like silk over razor blades. "After all, I'd hate for your new bride to walk into something she's not prepared for. The summit is going to be so interesting this year." The line went dead. Adrian turned to Maya, and in his eyes, she saw something that terrified and thrilled her in equal measure. "Whatever happens next," he said quietly, "there's no going back." Maya stepped forward and took his hand. "Good. I've spent my whole life going back. It's time to burn some bridges." His fingers tightened around hers, and in that moment, Maya wondered if she'd just signed away more than her name. The cybersecurity summit ballroom hummed with power and money. Maya adjusted the diamond necklace Adrian had given her that morning, the weight of it foreign against her skin. She scanned the crowd, searching for the woman who'd haunted her thoughts all week. "Remember," Adrian murmured against her ear, his hand warm on the small of her back. "She'll try to isolate you. Make you think you can trust her." Maya's skin burned where he touched her. Over the past 7 days, the line between performance and reality had blurred until she couldn't find it anymore. "And if she succeeds, she won't." His certainty made her pulse quicken. "Because you're stronger than she is." Adrian Blackstone. They turned. Victoria Sterling approached like a predator gliding through deep water. Her silver dress clung to every curve, and her smile could cut diamonds. Maya's breath caught. Photographs hadn't captured the calculated grace, the way Victoria moved like she owned every molecule of air in the room. "Victoria." Adrian's voice betrayed nothing, but Maya felt tension radiating from him like heat. Victoria's gaze swept over Maya with surgical precision. "And you must be the new Mrs. Blackstone. I'm Victoria Sterling, Adrian's former business partner." "Maya." She extended her hand. Victoria's grip lasted just long enough to establish dominance. "Such an interesting choice, Adrian. So different from your usual type." Adrian's arm tightened around Maya's waist. "Maya is exactly what I need." "I'm sure she is." Victoria's smile widened, revealing perfect teeth. Maya, darling, I simply must steal you away. There are people you need to meet. Before Maya could protest, Victoria's fingers wrapped around her wrist like silk-covered steel, leading her away from Adrian toward a quieter corner. Maya glanced back. Adrian's jaw was clenched, his eyes tracking their every movement. "Don't worry about Adrian," Victoria said, following her gaze. "He always lands on his feet." She paused at a table near the windows. "Though I suppose you know that, considering how quickly you caught him." "Caught him?" Victoria laughed, wind chimes in a storm. "Please, a struggling artist marries a billionaire within weeks of meeting? We both know what that looks like." Heat rose in Maya's cheeks. "You don't know anything about us, don't I?" Victoria leaned closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "I know Adrian better than anyone. I know about the nightmares that wake him at 3 a.m. I know he takes his coffee black with 2 sugars he pretends he doesn't want. I know he counts ceiling tiles when he can't sleep." Her smile turned razor sharp. "What do you know about him, Maya, really?" Maya's stomach twisted, but she held her ground. "I know he trusted you and you destroyed him." Something flickered across Victoria's perfect features. Anger, maybe. Or was it pain? "Is that what he told you?" Victoria's laugh was hollow. "That I destroyed him? Didn't you?" Victoria's eyes went cold. "Adrian sees the world in black and white. Heroes and villains. He never stopped to ask why I did what I did. Why did you? Because he left me no choice." Victoria's mask cracked just for a second. "But you're not here for the truth, are you? You're here to play your part in his revenge fantasy." Maya opened her mouth to respond, but Victoria's phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen, and her entire demeanor shifted. "Enjoy the summit, Maya." Victoria's smile returned, colder than before. "And when this all falls apart, remember I tried to warn you." She disappeared into the crowd, leaving Maya's mind racing. When Adrian found her minutes later, his eyes were dark with concern. "What did she say?" "She said you see everything in black and white." Maya studied his face. "She said you never asked why she betrayed you." Adrian's jaw tightened. "Because there's no justification for what she did." "Maybe not. But what if there's context you don't know? Whose side are you on, Maya?" The question hung between them like a blade. "Yours," Maya said finally. "I'm on your side. But I need to know I'm on the right side." Adrian's phone buzzed. He looked at the screen and all the color drained from his face. "What is it?" He turned the phone toward her. An email sent from an anonymous account. The subject line read, "Ask him about Sarah." Below it was a photograph. Adrian, younger, his arm around a woman with dark hair and a bright smile. "Who's Sarah?" Maya asked quietly. Adrian's voice was barely audible. "Someone I failed to protect." Before Maya could respond, the ballroom lights flickered once, twice, then went completely dark. In the sudden chaos, Maya felt someone grab her arm. It wasn't Adrian. A voice whispered in her ear. Male, unfamiliar. "He's lying to you about everything. If you want the truth, meet me in the parking garage. Level 3, alone." The lights came back on. Maya spun around, but whoever had spoken had vanished into the panicked crowd. Adrian appeared at her side, his hand finding hers. "Are you okay?" Maya looked into his eyes, at the secret swimming behind them, and felt the ground shifting beneath her feet. "I don't know," she said. "Am I?" Maya stood in the parking garage on level 3, her heart hammering against her ribs. The concrete walls amplified every sound, turning distant footsteps into thunder. She checked her phone. Adrian had sent 4 texts in the past 10 minutes, each one more urgent than the last. She hadn't answered any of them. "You came." A man emerged from between 2 SUVs. Mid-40s, expensive suit, calculating eyes. "Smart. Who are you?" "Marcus Webb. I used to work for Adrian." He moved closer, and Maya noticed the way he kept his hands visible, non-threatening. "Before he destroyed my career to cover up what he did to Sarah Chen." Maya's blood turned to ice. "Sarah Chen, same last name as me. Your cousin. Though I'm guessing Adrian never mentioned that." Marcus pulled out a tablet, swiping through files. "Sarah was a programmer at Blackstone Tech 3 years ago. Brilliant. Beautiful. She and Adrian had an affair. I don't have a cousin named Sarah." "You did." Marcus's voice softened. She died in a car accident 2 weeks after Adrian broke things off. But it wasn't an accident, Maya. Sarah discovered something in Adrian's code, something that would have destroyed his company if it got out. Maya's hands trembled. You're lying, am I? He showed her the tablet screen. Sarah Chen's face stared back, and the resemblance hit Maya like a fist to the gut. Same eyes, same bone structure. She tried to go to the authorities. Her car's brake line was cut the next day. Adrian wouldn't do that, wouldn't he? Marcus stepped closer. Ask yourself why he chose you, Maya. Out of everyone in New York, why did he walk into your gallery that night? Why did he know your name before you told him? The world tilted. He didn't know my name. Check the security footage from your gallery. Check the timestamp. Adrian arrived an hour before you told him who you were. He stood outside watching you through the window. Marcus's voice dropped. He's been watching you for months. Ever since he found out Sarah had a cousin who looked just like her. Maya's phone buzzed, Adrian calling again. Don't answer it. Marcus grabbed her wrist. He's using you, Maya. This whole revenge plot against Victoria is a lie. Victoria found out what he did to Sarah. That's why she took his company secrets. She was trying to bring him to justice. You're working for Victoria. I'm working for the truth. Marcus released her arm. Sarah was my fiancée. Victoria is helping me prove what Adrian did. And you're the key to everything. How? Because you have something Adrian wants more than revenge. You have Sarah's face. Marcus's eyes held genuine pain. He's trying to rewrite history, Maya, to fix what he broke. But he's using you as a replacement for a dead woman. Footsteps echoed through the garage. Adrian appeared, chest heaving, eyes wild. Step away from her. His voice was lethal. Marcus raised his hands. Tell her the truth, Blackstone. Tell her about Sarah. Adrian's gaze locked onto Maya's. Whatever he told you is a lie. Then why didn't you tell me I had a cousin who worked for you? Maya's voice cracked. Why didn't you tell me she's dead? Because I knew how it would sound. Adrian moved closer, and Maya saw something raw and desperate in his eyes. Yes, Sarah was your cousin. Yes, we were involved, but she didn't die because of me. He's lying, Marcus said. I have proof. You have Victoria's fabricated evidence. Adrian's voice was steel. Evidence she created to justify stealing from me. Maya looked between them, her mind spinning. Someone tell me the truth, right now. Adrian's shoulders sagged. The truth is that Sarah discovered I'd built a backdoor into my security software, a way to access any system running my code. She threatened to expose me unless I gave her $50 million. Maya's stomach dropped. So you killed her? No. Adrian's voice broke. I paid her. Every cent. And then I removed the backdoor and buried the evidence. But someone cut her brake line 2 days later. Someone who wanted to frame me. Victoria, Maya whispered. Victoria found out about the payment. She threatened to go public unless I married her and gave her controlling interest in my company. Adrian's hands clenched. I agreed, thinking I could find proof she killed Sarah. Instead, she found out I was investigating her and decided to destroy everything I'd built. Marcus laughed bitterly. You expect her to believe that? I expect her to look at the evidence. Adrian held out his phone. The real evidence. Not Victoria's forgeries. Maya took the phone. Files filled the screen. Bank transfers, security footage, text messages between Victoria and Marcus. And there, in black and white, a message from Victoria to Marcus. Make sure the Chen woman's car is taken care of, permanently. Maya's hands shook. You knew. You both knew she was going to die. Marcus's face went pale. That's not what that means. Then what does it mean? Maya's voice rose. Because it sounds like you and Victoria murdered my cousin and tried to frame Adrian for it. Maya, listen. Marcus backed toward his car. You don't understand the whole picture. I understand enough. Maya's vision blurred with tears and rage. Get out, before I call the police. Marcus disappeared into the shadows, leaving Maya and Adrian alone in the harsh fluorescent light. I'm sorry, Adrian said quietly. I should have told you everything from the beginning. Maya looked at him, at the man she'd married for revenge, and felt something break inside her chest. Did you choose me because I look like her? Adrian closed his eyes. At first, yes. When I saw you in that gallery, it was like seeing Sarah's ghost. I thought I was losing my mind. He opened his eyes and they were wet. But then you spoke, and you were nothing like her. You were fierce and broken and real. And I stopped seeing Sarah. I started seeing you. How do I know that's true? You don't. Adrian's voice was raw. You have to decide whether to trust me or not. And I know I don't deserve it. Maya's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Parking garage level 5. Come alone if you want to see who really killed Sarah. She showed Adrian the screen. His face went white. It's a trap. Maybe. But I'm tired of lies. Maya started toward the elevator. I'm going. Then I'm going with you. No. Maya turned, and in her eyes, Adrian saw the same determination that had made him fall for her in the first place. If this is a trap, I need to know you're safe. If it's real, I need to face it alone. Maya, please. Promise me something, she said, stepping into the elevator. If something happens to me, promise you'll finish this. Promise you'll make Victoria pay for Sarah. The elevator doors started to close. I promise, Adrian said. But Maya, I need you to know something. I love you, not because you look like her, because you're nothing like her, because you're everything I never knew I needed. The doors closed on his face, and Maya felt tears streaming down her cheeks. Level 5 was abandoned, dark except for a single overhead light in the center of the garage. Maya walked toward it, every instinct screaming danger. Victoria Sterling stepped into the light. Hello, Maya. She was holding a gun. I think it's time we had a real conversation. Maya froze, her eyes locked on the gun in Victoria's hand. The parking garage was silent except for the hum of fluorescent lights and the pounding of her own heart. You don't need that, Maya said, keeping her voice steady. Don't I? Victoria's laugh was hollow. You've been lied to by everyone, Maya, including me. I thought it was time someone told you the whole truth before you get hurt worse than you already are. So talk, without the gun. Victoria lowered the weapon but didn't put it away. Sarah Chen was my best friend. We met at MIT, stayed close through everything. When she got involved with Adrian, I warned her. Told her men like him only destroy what they touch. Maya's throat tightened. You loved her. Like a sister. Victoria's composure cracked, real pain bleeding through. When she discovered the back door in Adrian's code, she came to me. She was terrified, not because of what it meant for her career, but because she'd fallen in love with him. She wanted to believe there was a good reason. What did you tell her? I told her to run, to take the money and disappear. Start over somewhere Adrian couldn't find her. Victoria's voice broke, but she wouldn't leave. She said she needed to understand why he'd built something so dangerous. So I helped her investigate. And you found out he'd been selling access to criminal organizations? No. Victoria shook her head. We found out he'd built the back door to catch them. Adrian was working with federal agents, using his software to identify human trafficking networks, drug cartels, terrorist cells. Sarah's evidence would have exposed the entire operation and gotten dozens of undercover agents killed. The garage spun around Maya. That's why he paid her. That's why we both tried to convince her to walk away. Victoria's eyes glistened. But someone else found out what Sarah knew. Someone who couldn't afford for that operation to continue. Marcus. Marcus Webb was a mid-level manager at Blackstone Tech. We didn't know he was laundering money for one of the cartels Adrian was targeting. Victoria's hand tightened on the gun. When Sarah wouldn't back off, Marcus cut her brake line and made it look like an accident. Then he approached me, told me Adrian had killed her, showed me fabricated evidence. Maya's mind raced, and you believed him. I wanted someone to blame. Victoria's voice cracked. My best friend was dead, and I needed it to be someone's fault. So I let Marcus convince me. I spent 2 years getting close to Adrian, learning everything, planning to destroy him, and then I found the real evidence. The text messages you sent Marcus. Fake, all of it. Marcus created them to frame me once I figured out what he'd really done. Victoria finally lowered the gun completely. By then, I'd already stolen Adrian's security protocols. I'd already destroyed any chance of him forgiving me. So I kept playing the villain, trying to buy time to prove Marcus was the real killer. Why didn't you just tell Adrian the truth? Because Marcus has proof of every illegal thing Adrian did while working with the feds. If I exposed Marcus, he'd expose Adrian. Dozens of agents would die. Hundreds of victims would never be saved. Victoria's eyes met Maya's. I was trying to find a way to put Marcus away without bringing down everything else. And then I showed up. And then Adrian married Sarah's cousin. Victoria smiled sadly. When I saw you at the summit, I knew. He wasn't using you for revenge. He was trying to save you, because he couldn't save Sarah. Maya's phone buzzed. A message from Adrian. Marcus is at your gallery. He has gasoline. No. Maya's blood turned to ice. My paintings. Everything I have is there. That's not all he has. Victoria was already running toward her car. Marcus knows I'm meeting you. He's going to burn the evidence I've been collecting. Evidence that's hidden in your gallery. They reached Victoria's car, both diving in as she gunned the engine. The city blurred past as Victoria drove like a woman possessed. Why hide evidence in my gallery? Maya asked. Because it was the one place Marcus would never think to look. The one place connected to Adrian that meant something real. Victoria took a corner at terrifying speed. I've been protecting you for months, Maya. Watching. Making sure Marcus didn't figure out what you meant to Adrian before I could stop him. The gallery appeared ahead, smoke already curling from the windows. Maya was out of the car before Victoria fully stopped, running toward the flames. Marcus stood in the doorway, silhouetted against the fire, holding a gas can. Stop right there, he called out, or I'll make sure everything burns. It's over, Marcus. Victoria appeared beside Maya, gun raised. FBI is 2 minutes out. I called them before I came to the garage. You're bluffing. Am I? Adrian's voice came from behind Marcus. He stepped out of the shadows, phone in hand. I've been recording everything. Every word you just said, and I've been live streaming it to the FBI field office. Marcus's face twisted. You've destroyed everything I built. You destroyed yourself when you killed an innocent woman. Adrian moved closer. Sarah never would have exposed those operations. She just wanted to understand. You killed her for nothing. I killed her to protect millions of dollars. Marcus raised the gas can. And if I'm going down, I'm taking all of you with me. No. Maya stepped forward. You want evidence? It's not in the gallery anymore. I moved it last week. Marcus froze. You're lying. Am I? Maya's voice was steel. Victoria told me everything 3 days ago. We've been playing you the entire time. The evidence is already with the FBI. This whole thing was a trap to get your confession. It was a bluff. A complete lie. But Maya sold it with every ounce of conviction she had. Marcus's hand wavered. And in that moment of hesitation, Adrian tackled him to the ground. The gas can flew through the air, spilling fuel across the concrete. Victoria fired a shot into the air, and suddenly sirens filled the night. FBI agents swarmed the scene. Maya watched them drag Marcus away, his screams fading into the chaos. The gallery burned. All her paintings. Years of work. Everything she'd created. Adrian appeared at her side, soot-streaked and bleeding from a cut over his eye. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Maya looked at the flames consuming her past, and felt something strange bloom in her chest. Not grief. Freedom. It's just paint and canvas, she said quietly. I can make more. Victoria approached, her perfect composure finally shattered. Sarah would have liked you. She would have been glad Adrian found someone real. I'm sorry for your loss, Maya said. For what it's worth, I think you're not the villain in this story. Neither are you. Victoria smiled sadly. Take care of him, Maya. He's more fragile than he looks. She disappeared into the crowd of emergency vehicles, leaving Maya and Adrian alone beside the burning gallery. You lied, Adrian said, about moving the evidence. I learned from the best. Maya leaned into him, feeling his arms wrap around her. Besides, some lies are worth telling. I love you. Adrian's voice was rough. I need you to know that's not a lie. Has never been a lie. Maya tilted her face up to his. I know. I've known since the night you told me what I already meant to you. She smiled through tears. I love you too. Not despite the broken parts. Because of them. His lips found hers as the gallery collapsed behind them, sending sparks into the night sky like falling stars. 6 months later, Maya stood in a new gallery space, surrounded by fresh canvases. These paintings were different from her old work, brighter, fiercer, alive with the kind of hope that only comes from surviving darkness. Adrian appeared in the doorway, no longer running from ghosts, just walking toward a future neither of them had expected to find. "Ready?" he asked. Maya took his hand. "For whatever comes next?" "Always." They walked out together into the Manhattan evening, two broken people who'd learned that sometimes the best way to heal is to burn everything down and start again. Above them, the city lights flickered like promises, like second chances, like love that's earned instead of stolen. The end.